stranded elsewhere. The voting was supposed to have taken place at Bremai, also in the constituency, but had to be rescheduled to this particular place just some days ago. And so I'm told some of the people are already stranded somewhere, looking for a means to be conveyed to this particular place to exercise their franchise in today's primary. So if everything goes somewhere, I expect that by midday, they should have finished casting the ballot. So that's for, so I'm here. 4 persons are contesting. Prominent among them, the municipal chief executive is here, Mr. Maxwell. Yes, Mr. Maxwell Boachi is contesting, and then another person who gave Mr. Otemel Sabonsu a good run for his money in the last election, called Mr. John Dafu, is also in the race. And these are the 2 front runners in the race for today. There are 2 others who are also lurking around to see if they can also penetrate and then get themselves replaced Mr. Oseche Sabonsu, who is not contesting and is on his way out of Parliament at the end of this year. So there's the situation here at Swami, which is taking place at the Freeman Training Institute. Yes, we're opposite the Wesley Training College, popularly called Westco. So if you ask me anything about the Swami constituency, that's all I can tell you for now.
Nicholas Osewusu, for those who do not know much about the Swami constituency, are you able to tell us a little bit what are the landmarks, which cities or towns make up the Swami constituency?
For first-timers or first visitors to Kumasi, or people who may not even be aware of the geographical disposition of Kumasi, Swami until recently was a part of the Kumasi metropolis, but was carved out together with 4 other sub-metros to become autonomous municipalities. So Swami, to begin with, is a municipal authority or municipality on its own. And then it is politically, it is a constituency held by Mr. Oseche Sabonsu, and he has occupied this seat since 1997 when he first joined the race. And if you want to know geographically, Swami is where we have the biggest runabout in Kumasi or the Ashanti region. It is from this runabout that we can get into some other regions in the country. From the Swami runabout to the north, you pass through the Swami Light Industrial Area, formerly called Swami Magazine, and through that you get to Ofinso, to Techiman. And then on you go towards Wenchi and those areas. Then on the other side, you also use that to go to Tafo. From the roundabout, you go to the Wesley College, that is Westco. Then to Tafo, then to the cemetery, the popular Tafo Cemetery. Then you go through Mampong, yes, Jamase, Mampong, and then the Scap. Then to Asebubu. That is another route from the Swami roundabout. Then you also can take another route or direction from the Swami roundabout. You go to the Abreport Junction. That takes you to the Sopo Line interchange. Then you branch or you take to the right, and then on you are going towards the Western North region, or you are going to Sunyai. So that is the disposition of Swami. As I speak to you, if you want to have a pictorial description of the geographical location of Swami.
So, Nicholas, the delegates in the Swami constituency will be seeking to replace a colossus in Ghanaian politics, a man who has so much experience in parliamentary issues since 1997, as you said. What is the feeling like for the delegates losing such a man who has represented them in parliament over the years? Is it a concern at all? Or they feel it's just about time for him to leave?
It's a kind of a mixed situation or reaction. In the prior to the 2020 election, there was a contest, and the contest was clean for him because they thought he had stayed on the seat for quite a long time, and so they needed somebody who could compete and probably take over from him. But in the heat of events, he still emerged as the MP. And for this time around, people were still gearing up to contesting. But for probably because sensing danger or sensing or nosing around to see how popular he was among the delegates, the situation could have been different for him, probably why he did not put himself up for contest this time around. Even though he had already indicated in the 2019 primaries that was going to be his last attempt at the seat. But this time, he made do with whatever he had said to the delegates, so he couldn't come. But if you gauge the mood of the people, it's a mixed situation, as I indicated earlier. Some think he has been on the seat for quite a long time, and so they need fresh limbs to also come into the fray, to have with new ideas. Others think that once he's gained that worth of experience, politically, whatever, and the assistance he has given to the socioeconomic progress of Swami, they think it is worthwhile if he were to continue. So if you ask me, and I say it is a mixed situation here, that is exactly what I meant.
All right. So before I let you go finally, will you say that Honorable Osei Mensah Bonsu has served the people of Swami well? Will they miss him?
I wish I could speak to some of the delegates who will be the best people to judge, because personally, I don't reside in that constituency, neither am I a delegate from that constituency. But what I can say is about what I've already indicated to you. I would want to speak to some of them to tell us exactly the MP who is now making way for president. Good morning, sir. Can we speak with your chief? But I don't know the polling station there. But who's the way you go? Tell me, I said, maybe I'm a boy, a bomb. I didn't say. Oh, a snake or when I'm about me to get a yow. You, Bisabo, who are GP? And I pay this out one question. To see I'm one. Nanka mo better say, or bet now, and now you see our own good. It's okay with you. Now you prefer what you have on there. Only the Jimmy are not the top was no way, so only yet not the apply. But they're not yet no. Only normally they also to me at one organ. It's what. Maybe I am predicting me up now, am I? There's a lot of talk of now, hoping to have a way to say, yeah, you may be aware of it in the afternoon. Okay. And the one and the Serbia obey MP no if it's Sabria. Impact very and the above one. So impact of the above the okay, the man more fine, make what I am or may say the woman from the I do know we are just an Ghana and as I am more say, you know, that saying oh Ghana that's again. I want to speak to a woman.
Nicholas.
I want to speak to a woman to find out from her also her views about what's happening here in the family constituency. Madam Bato, but I don't cover what they're good and number. Bato,
Nicholas Osei is our correspondent in Ashanti region, currently in the Swami constituency, the constituency that has been headed by Honorable Osei Mensah Bonsu since 1997 till now. He has announced his intentions to exit that particular role. We are still covering the 2024 NPP primaries. Let's go to the Bono area and speak to one of our correspondents.
John Samatha. John Samatha is standing by at the Bono region. John, good morning to you. Good morning to you, John. All right, John Samatha is our Bono regional correspondent who is ready for us next week. Hello, John. Okay, all right, we'll work on that line. Yes, I think we have John on the screen now. John, good morning. John, can you hear me? You can just go ahead with your report, John. All right, so that's John Samantha, who is our Bono regional correspondent. We'll work on that particular line and get back to you, hopefully when the sound is much more better for us. Yes.
Let's go back and take a look at some of the candidates Nicholas spoke about in the Swami constituency. Now, he was speaking about John Darko, who is seen as one of the main contenders in this election. Now, John Darko is a private legal practitioner and is a lecturer at the Gimpa Law Faculty. He contested on Chairman Sabons in the 2016 primaries.
No size.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, most welcome to GTV and GBC News. This is the Npp primaries here, and today we are seeing the minister, regional minister here, who is also a candidate here, coming here to come and really process is going. And remember, he's flanked by so many people, and so this is a place where he is going again, and this will be the fourth time he's going. He has gone for 3 times already, and he says the constituents want him to really come back again and come and serve because of his good works. And so today is here at this time coming to also exercise his franchise, make sure that all things go on well here. Remember, security presence is very, very strong here. Everything being done here is well coordinated, and so it is a stand now to go. And as usual, he is with the people, and so he is interacting with them as well, and everything here. Let me tell you, this constituency, we are expecting 976 eligible delegates to really exercise their franchise here. So far, as at 9:40, what I gathered from the electoral officials was that 300 people have exercised their franchise so far. And if you look behind me, the queue is long and winding. Everybody is eager and passionate, wants to really do it. And so, as you can see, Mr. Henry Quartet is one of the really candidates that wants to once again lead this constituency in parliament. Remember, this is his 3rd time he's doing it, and he's facing a stronger opposition from a youthful lad, Mr. Abo, who happened to be a former youth organizer of this party. And so, as you see, Mr. Quartet is moving in and flanked by the media. Let me see if I can just pick a message from him. Everything he's doing. Let me see if I can even get a message from him. He's going out there to really exercise his franchise, and so when he finishes, we'll try and engage him and see what message he has for us and the constituent as well. So far, what he has seen, everything well coordinated, and so waving everybody, telling everybody that indeed he still is with them, is the constituency man. And so let's see how it goes. So Maurice and Co at the studio, this is what is happening here. This is the Ala Joastro Tef Park, where we are having the New Patriotic Party primaries for the Ayawaso Central constituency. So as it stands now, everything from morning that we came here, everything has been smooth, well coordinated. We haven't seen any mishaps here. Everybody comes, exercises their franchise, they have a space, they live, and they go. So I have seen the young, I have seen the old. Some are being helped to even come and then exercise their franchise. And it's beautiful here. As you can see, Mr. Henry Quartet really going through the process to exercise his franchise as the rule says. And so if you look at him, too confident, very calm, everything done here. So trust Mr. Quartet. After that, we'll get closer to him, and then he'll give us a message. And at the end of the day, we also try and then get the other aspirant here who also wants to, Mr. Ball. So Mr. Quartet is still in the process. He's still in the process, so let's see how it goes. This is the regional minister, Accra's regional minister. Still in the process, exercising his franchise. Yes.
So
I can hear you.
We heard that there were some issues about accreditation where some delegates were not allowed to get into the voting area because they did not have accreditation. Do you know more about that, and how was that resolved, if there was any?
It's just the normal hiccups. Everybody has been issued with accreditation tax for you to really come in, and so some feel that they have left theirs, and so they want somebody to endorse them. And officials were saying that they can go back and come back again. You should go and bring theirs and come back again. So that was all. And some also wanted to bamboozle their way into the arena. That has been well coordinated, because there are 3 security checks. When you enter, you'll be checked. When you join the queue, and it gets your turn to come into the arena where a well-coordinated sitting area is, and again, where the voting is going on, there are 3 places. And so every stage you reach, you'll be scanned, you'll be searched, so you don't bring in any foreign material, you don't bring in anything, because of the fear of the unknown and taking security. So that is what happened. So those who weren't having were asked to go back and bring. It wasn't that they were sacked, it wasn't that, but people felt that so far as I am your friend, you can endorse for me and I'm known here. But the rule says that we need to see your IDs, your accreditation, and that's what really happened.
Thank you for that. We see the.
So very soon we'll try and then get Mr. Quartet to give us a message. We'll try and get Mr. Quartet to give us a message, and then after that, we will engage some of the delegates as well. So, Honorable.
Your examination of the process.
Well, I could control money in there, please. If you are not ready to go back, then I will not speak. Please. Okay.
How are you feeling about today's election?
Oh, first of all, we thank God that this day has come. We also thank the party for putting in all the necessary measures to ensure that by the grace of God, the elections today, 27th of January in Ghana, where all members of parliament, incumbents, are having their primaries done, will be held free, fair, transparent, and by the grace of God, devoid of any misunderstanding. After all, this is an internal election. We are all one people belonging to one party. Once the elections is over, it is expected that the Npp will put itself together, will go and prosecute the agenda of breaking the 8, inshallah, 2024.
So if you look at the turnout, does it tell you something?
I don't understand your question. Turnout is turnout. What something does it tell me?
This constituency.
Yes, I know my numbers. The total number of delegates, they are here. They are going to vote. Well, that's how it's supposed to be.
This event means that you are going for the 4th time.
Yes.
That's what I'm asking. That if you look at the turnout.
Well, your question is not adding up.
Honorable, you are concerned that your good friend and your mentor is not supporting.
I don't want to talk about that. My name is Henry Quarty. The people here are going to vote for Henry Quarty. Anything that anybody says is the person's business.
Do you think the heavy security presence here is a result of the allegation?
I didn't request for heavy security presence. The Ghana police are mandated to protect lives and protect properties, and that's what they're doing.
Honorable, if this is your 4th time, is it not suggesting in your mind that the delegates may be tired of seeing?
Did you speak to them? I told you that.
What do you think?
No, what do you think?
I'm here to speak.
I'm here to win. Nobody has told me that they are tired.
What's inspiring your confidence that you win?
By the grace of God, I have a God that I serve, and that's what is inspiring my confidence.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So we just heard the regional minister and also one of the aspirants for this seat again. He wants to go for the 4th time, and so hoping that the delegates will really endorse him. And so we're still here at the Alaju AstroTurf where the Ayawaso West is going on. If you just look at me, the people sitting here, they are part of the delegate 976 that needs to exercise their franchise. Just look at it. They have been well coordinated. So you come in from the first check at the main gate. You will come here, you'll be ordered to sit here. Then you will move to the 2nd stage where another check will take place here. Then you move into the arena and queue again for your papers to exercise your franchise. So if you look at all these gentlemen and ladies here, they are all delegates among the 976 that really are ready to exercise their franchise. It's been well coordinated. If you even look further off out of the field, you see a lot of people. All of them are part of the 976 that really wants to exercise their franchise. And again, as usual, security presence, very, very high. They are present everywhere. More than 200 I can count. They are here to really make sure that everything is well coordinated. And so far, we haven't seen anything unusual here. All that we see is that everybody goes through the same checks that journalists went through. We all checked. We were all asked of our cards and everything before we were permitted to go. And so still, Mr. Quartey is here. Remember, although he's an aspirant, he's also currently the regional chairman for the regional minister for Greater Accra. And so understanding when he comes and he's coordinating with the people, and so still interacting with the security officials, and then saying that everything should go on well. So let's see how it goes. And then at the end of the day, we'll bring you up to speed on happenings here. It's still here at the Alajo AstroTurf Park, where delegates are still exercising their franchise. That's at 9:40. 300 have already exercised their franchise. And I feel that before the deadline, which is afternoon, then the 900 plus might have been able to really exercise their franchise here. Keep watching us on all GBC platforms, GBC News, GTV, our online platforms and everything, as we bring you up to speed happening here at the Ayawaso Central, where the Npp primaries, one of the centers where voting is going on here. So they keep coming in, both old and new. And one interesting thing is that those who couldn't even work, they are getting people to help them to really come and exercise their franchise, meaning that the delegates really have a message. And at the end of the day, when counting is done, we will see if indeed they still believe in the incumbent, who it will be his fourth time representing this constituency at Parliament, or a new one that happens to be the former youth organizer, national youth organizer, who will also come as the new face, new blood. And so let's see. We're still here. Anytime we get them, we'll get closer to you. But again, Mr. Henry Quartey just did this, exercised his franchise without any problems. He's done, and he's moving away with his entourage. Let's see how it goes. The rest of them will come. But again, the people still keep coming. Delegates still keep coming here at the AstroTurf here. So whatever happens, we'll bringing you up to speed to the studios and every other place that you see us. Nobody has been harassed so far as we are here. Nothing untoward has happened. Everybody is going through the thorough check. Thorough check. You'll be checked from head to toe. Then you come and sit. Then when it is your turn, you come to the second point. You'll be checked head to toe before you get to where you take your papers and then exercise your franchise. And so as you see, parents, women with their children, the elderly being helped, men, women, everybody ready to really make sure that the internal democratic process of the new patriotic party is really achieved. And so we are still here. So over to you at the studios.
Before you go finally, let me just say that Honorable Moses Abo is a former Greater Accra regional youth organizer of the Npp, not the national youth organizer. But what signals are you picking on the grounds in this particular contest? Is it likely that Moses Abo may snatch this particular seat from Honorable Henry Quartey?
You know, like we've grown to come to realize that delegates, we can't trust them. This is a process that at the end of the day, the counting will determine whether indeed the delegates here in this constituency really wants a new face, a new direction, a new drive, a new energy. It is in the answers that we'll get after the ballots are counted for us to see. But when you come here, his agents and everybody are red alert. Everybody's red alert. It's like from the main junction coming, security presence is so tight that if you don't even know what is happening, something will trigger and tell you something is happening here. And if you look at the crowd outside, who really wants to come in and exercise their franchise, I don't think that all of them will really stand and say we are going for one party or not. I think that it will be close. By the end of the day, there will be definitely a winner. So from the look of things, I cannot really pinpoint whether indeed all of them are going behind or they will still stay with the incumbent. But at the end of the day, we'll bring you to speed, everything happening here. But the environment, although a little bit tensed, it is calm and everything is moving on smoothly.
All right, so that was our correspondent, Theophilus Sampa, reporting from the Ayawaso Central constituency. It's a constituency which we must watch in this particular election as to whether Moses Abo, who has been very much close with the people over the years, he's been an assemblyman in that particular electoral area. He has worked with the AMA. He has been the regional youth organizer. I think he also worked with the NYEP at a point, and so he has a lot of connection with the youth, with the people, especially when you work at the NYEP, you're able to help a lot of the youth to get, you know, this kind of temporary employment and all that. So it gives you a chance, especially when you want to run for political office. So it remains to be seen what will happen in the Ayawaso Central constituency. There are a lot of theories, you know, behind what's happening in that constituency.
I am in Ayawaso.
Talk about.
I'm in Ayawaso North. I'm in Ayawaso North. Okay. So at least we share some boundaries with Ayawaso Central. And ICQ is very strong in Ayawaso Central. Right. Even it's got some bit of strength also in Ayawaso North. Okay. But just that the Npp Parliamentary candidate who is in Ayawaso North, Yusuf Jaja, has some bit of control within that kind of constituency. But ICQ is very much strong. Did I say ICQ? And Nukoti is very much strong in Ayawaso Central. He's got control and command over the guys in there and the party also. But our ball also comes in very interesting, and it's going to be a very interesting.
Does he have the funds? Does he have the funds?
Well, obviously it's going to be Henry Kwate. I mean, he's the Greater Accra Regional Minister, and he's the incumbent. He's been in Parliament for quite some time now. After ICQ left that position, and it was a very interesting one. It was actually ICQ called him the anointed one to take over from him, which he took over. So. Henry Kwate is the favorite, but you can't take anything away from Abo too. Henry has a control over the area, which is quite understandable. But
also looking at his agenda to make Accra work again, he's stepped on some few toes. I mean, he's moved people from the street, and these are people who are connected to the delegates and all that. And sometimes it does appear that some people within the party do not really support this particular agenda, which affect people's livelihood, so to speak. So that also is going to have some effects on him in this particular election. But as you said,
that might have a bigger effect in the general election. Because we are looking at just the delegates in here, and he's got control over the delegates. He's got that kind of influence over the delegates, and of course, like you said, the funds to actually push this through. He will stand out as the favorite, right? But you can't take something also away from Abo, because he's been down there with the people for a very long time. And I mean, most of the time you walk around the neighborhood, you see him. Most of the time usually on weekends like this, he's actually around.
Right. So Ayawaso Central is Alajo.
Yes, Alajo. There's some part of Kukumeme, there's some part of Newtown too. Okay. Yes. So they just share a very slight boundary with North and Central. I mean North. Okay. And then Henry Kwate is in Ayawaso Central, as a member of Parliament. So for Ayawaso North,
Malata as well.
Yes, some of Malata too. Yes. So Ayawaso North is that's Yusuf Jaja. Okay. So some parts of Newtown.
Ayawaso North is Nima.
Yeah, some parts of Newtown, parts of Nima, the Mamubi areas too. There. Yes. So that's how interesting that constituency is.
In that constituency, I'm just reading that Abo had made a complaint that the minister wanted to use unauthorized security personnel in the constituency during the elections, and we just wait to see how that pans out.
Right. So, John
Samantha, yes, I understand John Samantha is ready. Let's go to the Bono region and talk to John Samantha. Hopefully, we're going to have some sounds coming from his end. John, good morning to you once again.
Good morning, George.
Good, and good to have you and good to hear from you. What can you share with us this morning in terms of the voting in the Bono region?
Thank you very much. And the Bono region has joined the other regions in Ghana for this all-important primaries of the new patriotic party. That's the parliamentary primaries. In all, there are contests in 4 constituencies. Although this exercise is meant for the 6 constituencies where NPP has certain candidates, but because of problem there's no voting going on in Sunyani East yet. Whilst there's one other constituency, that is Doma East, where the incumbent MP, Paul Chumberima, is going unopposed. So out of the 6 constituencies with certain Npp MPs, only 4 are having this primaries exercise. And currently I'm Sunyani West, which is the constituency of the MP the Minister for Labor Relations, Ignatius Bafo Ewa, and he's been given a run for his money by 2 other contestants, one lady, Ama Frimpoma Juma, and then Mubarak Abdallah. They are hoping to unseat Ignatius Bafwewa as the MP for Sunyani West. But the voting in this area started right on. They were almost punctual, but they started maybe 20 to 30 minutes late. And there are about 1,029 people on the roll. And when I checked about a few minutes ago, close to 300 had voted. That was as at 9:30, 9:40. There are about close to 300 had already voted. And as you can see, there are very long queues around. The voting is being done in 2 polling stations. And all these polling stations have long queues of voters waiting to get their opportunity to cast their votes. And basically here in the Bono region, the exercise is going on apart from Sunyani West, we also have Doma Central, where 722 delegates are expected to cast their votes. Then also there's Brekum East, where 696 are expected to cast their votes, as well as Brekum West, where 343 delegates are also expected to cast their votes. So basically, reports we are hearing for the 3 other constituencies say voting is underway and everything is progressing smoothly. Security has been quite tight with a strong presence, in the voting center. And so basically everything has been very peaceful. And I just don't know if the officials will have a word for us. Hello, sir. You are live on GTV. May we know you, sir?
My name is Ugoda.
Yes, sir, boss.
Yeah.
Obi, what can you tell us about this process?
I think so far so good. Everything is going on smoothly. And we hope everything will be all right.
I see. You almost started punctually, just about 20 minutes late. So are you sure you're going to finish earlier than the stipulated time of 5 p.m.?
Hopefully.
And so will counting be done right away, or you have to wait till the official end time?
I think counting will be done right.
As soon as every delegate is voted?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, so that was an official of the Electoral Commission telling me that so far so good, everything has been progressing nicely. And I've been here for a while, so I know a lot of the people in the queue have been waiting for a while. Some are going to have some waist pains later today because they've been on parade virtually, standing for a very long time. So I want to find out from some of them how they are feeling now. Masa, akwa about GTV so. Na sisamu se nche bebedu so. I'm say be e ode pa. Uba hache. Better time.
Would you ever say around 7:30?
I see. Okay. All right. Oh, Mama Yichao. Sorry, why? Okay. Madam, it is an entry baby do so now. Uba hache. Okay. All right. Yes, sir. Uba hache. I'm sure say we did not watch it, but I'm sure it's worth it. It's Uber system and I say, yeah, I see. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are on GTV.
Yes.
Uber Hache. If you want to say process, who want to say
no pass of near me cost, and I'm saying here, you know. That's what you're now so almost one bread transact.
I see. If you're saying, okay. So far, yes, this gentleman is looking too good. You have to appear on TV. Yeah. You're on GTV Live. How long have you been in the queue?
1 hour.
1 hour? Yeah. Okay. So I'm sure you are hopeful you are going to vote very soon and be free. Have your afternoon back. Great. So basically, it's been very peaceful here in Odomase. Basically, we are in Odomase Senior High School, and everything has been peaceful. The voting is progressing without any incident. Earlier, I spotted the Minister for Labor Relations, who is being contested by 2 individuals, a lady and a gentleman. So I'm trying to see if I can get an opportunity to talk to the minister. Hello, sir. Good morning, sir. Hello, sir. Good morning, sir. Hello, sir. The minister has been around, interacting with some of the delegates. Hello, sir. I've got a surprise for you. You are live on GTV. The whole Ghana is watching you. And I was just telling them that the process started here almost punctually. And so far, everything has been peaceful. Security presence is, solid. Everything is ship. But what have you seen since you got here?
I must admit that I like the way delegates have comported themselves. They are in the queue and ready to cast their votes. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the party for putting in place such structures to make the Congress a very resounding success. Let me also congratulate them for the effective manner with which they have managed the whole process. And you journalists, I'm also grateful to you for telling the world out there that the New Patriotic Party is the party that understands democracy, believes in it and lives. So at the end of the day, we want to see a very successful Congress.
You are giving a run for your money by 2 of your colleagues in the NPP. What do you make of the challenge? Do you think you can surmount it?
That is the beauty of democracy. If you understand democracy, you accept some of these things as normal things. But then at the end of the day, we will see whether indeed the people will appreciate one person or the other.
Are you hopeful you're going to win?
Why not?
And what will make the delegates appreciate you over the other candidates?
Well, I don't know the message my colleagues have actually presented to the people, but I've gone around to the delegates, I've spoken to them, and they've given me the assurance that they will vote for me. So I trust their word.
Based on what you've done?
I trust their word.
Yes, what do you think stands out the most as to your record, your legacy? What do you think stands out the most?
I have never neglected the people. From day one since I joined politics, I have been with them. They know me, and it is not like I'm now going to introduce myself to them. So even when I had not come to them to indicate my willingness to contest again, they themselves were calling me. We have not heard from you. So it's a clarion call, and I have to heed to the call.
Thank you, sir, for your time, and all the best. So that was the Minister for Labor Relations hanging out with the delegates, saying hello to them, seeing how they are faring. I'm just hoping that whilst we are here, some of the people contesting him will also come around so that we'll have the opportunity to know what they are thinking. But basically, like I keep saying, everything has been peaceful, and so far, so good here in Sunyani West and the 4 other constituencies where voting is going on in the Bono region.
All right, thank you very much. That's John Samantha, who is our correspondent in the Bono region and came out live reports coming from Sunyani West. Let's get back to the Greater Accra region, focusing on Ablekuma West, where some delegates in Ablekuma West are expressing concerns about the manner that the executives of the constituencies are actually handling the photo album of the constituency. Let's take a listen to some of these executives and what they are saying about this particular issue. When we return, we'll talk to our correspondent who's actually on the standby for us at Ablikman West. But first of all, let's take a listen to what some of these executives are saying.
What is happening now, we are not happy because people who are pursued to be part of Rooney are not getting access to the accreditation, and people who are pursued to be part of Madam Mesla are getting access to the accreditation. So we want the process to be fair and free because we are all, it is internal politics. It is not we against any opponent. It is internal, and for us to work together for the party in the constituency, we are supposed to do this just and fair. If anybody lose, so that all we as support of one or the other can come together and fight forward against the 2024 breaking the 8th. And I think the right thing should be done. That's what we are asking for. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We need them to bring the album outside. That is it. The album should come out. You check your name, you enter.
So where is the album?
They're taking the album inside. It is the original secretary partner.
So
who has been massaging and electing in this conference?
Because the constituency
is started this inside, not today. Any time we had an election at the West, this one will come and massage the elections over here. That is his character. And today has come to repeat the same thing as a regional secretary. You cannot keep our album inside. The album should be outside. So that everybody will verify his name here and enter. That is how we do. But you cannot see we from going inside because we belong to one person as Ronnie. And you allow people who belong to us to enter accreditation. For them to get access to accreditation.
They have already said, if you win, we will still steal you. That's what they tell you.
They said if you win, we will still steal us. Yes.
And we will not allow it.
They said if we win, they will steal us. That is what they said. And we are also going to allow anybody to massage a vote in Ablikman West. We want our liberty. Ablikman West has been in slavery for a very long time. We have been in slavery for a very long time. Since 2012. One person.
Tell me your name.
I'm Richard.
Richard what?
Kofi Kobia.
Okay. And you also mentioned your name as well.
I'm saying Nana Kwesi. I know in the constituency as Nana Kwesi.
Nana Kwesi.
Yes, and we want the right thing to be done. Other than that, they should forget 2024.
Excuse me.
All right, so those are pictures recorded earlier from Ablikman West, where some of the delegates in Ablikman West are actually expressing concern about the manner that the executives of that constituency are handling the photo album. We heard from some of the delegates there. And in that particular constituency, that's where the communication minister is. That's Ursula Owusu-Ekufo, and she's actually contesting and going back for that particular seat to recontest for the seat. And the one contesting here is Rooney Kwesi Nicole. And that's the gentleman that those other delegates are actually talking about. And it looks like those are his supporters. But we're going to talk to Sarah Fori, who just joined us on the line to find out whether these issues that they raised have been resolved. Sarah, good morning to you.
Good morning, George.
All right. First of all, the issues that they raised, have they been resolved concerning the photo album?
Well, they haven't been resolved, but Ronnie, the other contestant, has calmed down his supporters that at the end of the day, they will see what they can do to get them to also vote and make their choice.
Okay. But
early on when we got here, as we played earlier, people were complaining that they were being denied access into the voting perimeter. Before you enter, you are scanned or you are screened thoroughly by the police before you come to the voting area. There are 3 centers here, and it's expected that at the end of the day, about 1,108 delegates would have voted to make a choice between the two candidates, Madame Oslewusu Ekufo and Ronnie Nicole. But when we came here, delegates were complaining that they were told that they could use their party card, national ID, voters ID, to verify their names in the album before they cast their ballot. So even if you didn't have accreditation and you had these other means of identification, you could be allowed to vote, but only for them to get here to be denied. And they also, and I've just spoken with Ronnie Nicole. I've sent the video to the office so it will be uploaded soon. He was just telling about a little about unfair treatment. He said that the party executives in the constituency had openly campaigned and declared their support to Madame Oslewusu against him. So any complaint he has not been resolved. They are not even paying attention to him. Meanwhile, when they went into the meeting with the police and the EC, they were assured that the candidates were assured that the delegates could also vote with these two means of identification. But obviously, things have turned around this morning. He's also complained about the fact that they were not going to allow people with holding protocol cards and unauthorized persons into the voting yard. But that is what we see. We see people going up and down, some without identification, and some with cameras entering the voting yard or the perimeter. But one thing I've noticed, and it's been consistent lately with Npp internal elections, the malhandling of the media men by the police. If you get in here, you will realize that the media have been positioned very far away, almost 100 meters from the voting perimeter. So how do we observe things going on to report to the public? So I don't know. And according to the commanders, when they went into their meeting, they didn't include the media as those with the right to enter the inner perimeter to even observe what is going on. So right at their meeting, they excluded the media. Yes, they want coverage. Yes, they want to see what is happening as it happens. So how do we get it if we are not allowed into the inner perimeter to even observe, to even ask questions, and every other thing would observe? So far, we've been told that about the voting started at 7 a.m. and about 450. Well, I got that information about 5 to 10 minutes ago, so I'm sure close to 500 people would have casted their ballots by now.
I mean,
so that's the only concern.
All right, Sarah, with accusations leveled against the incumbent member of parliament, that's Madame Ursula Ekufo, who is the Minister for Communication. Is there by any means that she's responded to it? Has her team come out to respond to any of those allegations leveled against her?
Well, I spoke to her earlier. She was one of the first persons I spoke to when I got here. Both candidates are here, and they are relatively calm and all confident of a win. When I asked her about the skirmishes that I observed earlier, about people being denied, some delegates who have been identified to align with her opponent, which is Ronnie, have been denied access into the voting perimeter. She said, no, the rules are clear, and that when they met, even last night, the rules of engagement were made clear that if you don't have accreditation, you can't vote. But Ronnie too is saying that when they met, they mentioned that if you had any of the ID cards aforementioned, then you could be allowed into the perimeter to vote. So as of now, I haven't even seen the constituency chairman. But according to the Ronnie, the opponent, because the party executives and the constituency chairman have openly declared their support for Madame Oslewusu, nothing is being done about their complaints.
Executives too. Have they also responded to the issues raised by some of the delegates?
Say that again.
The executives for that particular constituency.
I haven't met any of the executives. I've been looking around for the chairman. I haven't met him yet.
Okay.
I saw the MP for the area, and as I approached him, like I said, he was pleased by them, and they tried to malhandle me. So I tried to remain calm. But this is something I would want the DJA and executives to address, because the malhandling of the media personnel is just unacceptable.
I can imagine, because during
especially
one of your...
with the general elections around the corner.
Okay, all right. Sarah, before we go, there was a woman who was preventing you from taking a video or speaking to her. How did that issue resolve?
Yes.
How did you resolve that issue?
Oh, it was resolved right then, because I told her that I had the accreditation to cover those elections, and if she didn't want to be seen, that shouldn't be in my viewing, my camera viewing. She has to move away because I'm doing my work.
Okay, but I hope you're fine, right?
I'm very fine.
Good, all right.
I'll protect myself. I won't be intimidated.
Okay, that's good to know. Sarah, we'll leave it here. Thank you very much. That's Sarah Ofori, who is our correspondent at Ablekuma West, where some delegates are actually accusing some of the executives for actually not handling the photo album very well, because those delegates are actually supporting one particular candidate. That's Ronnie Kwesi Nicole. And they're saying that it looks like some of the executives are doing things against that particular candidate in favor of the communications minister, Madam Ursula Osei-Kuffour, who is actually being contested there by Ronnie Kwesi Nicole. And if you're just joining us, it's our coverage of the Npp Parliamentary primaries across the entire country. And we're bringing you exactly what you need to know and how best we can get you all the details across the country and who is really going to be maintained, or whether there are going to be new faces to represent the New Patriotic Party ahead of the 2024 general election story.
Now, we'll take you to Offiso North in the Ashanti region, where our correspondent has been speaking to the returning officer, Eric Jimfi. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Today at 7 o'clock in the morning, there hasn't been any skirmishes. Things have been normal. Voting is smooth. It is 9:27 and there are 228 voters who have voted now. Security is on the ground. Voters have comported themselves and everything has come here. There hasn't been any problem.
How many in total are you expecting?
I'm expecting 628 voters, and as 228 have voted now, I know we can beat the closing time of 2 o'clock as has been fixed by the party.
Has there been
any voter representation or proxy? Even people who are sick, when they come, they seek assistance in terms of helping screen to cast their ballot. In fact, I was surprised when I saw one in a situation like that. The person seemed very sick, and both the left and the right armpits, he had to be assisted by people into the voting screen. I'm saying this person is sick. He should have been allowed to rest, but that was not the case. So there hasn't been any proxy voting here. Everything has been smooth.
Some areas people come in, they don't find their names.
There hasn't been any instance where someone comes and the name is not found. It looks like the delegates have already been briefed that they are part of it. I think when the candidates were seeking their votes, they made them know that they are part. So those who are not part have not been here, and so there has not been any case of someone not finding his or her name in the register.
Lastly, you can see a lot of police officers here. Are they enough to ensure seats?
As for security, I have never even witnessed this kind of security arrangements. It is even more than enough here. We thank the district commander and the divisional commander for their good work done. They have done very well. Everything is calm on the grounds here. Yeah.
All right, that's it. And if you're just joining us once again, is our coverage of the NPP Parliamentary Primaries live on GBC News, live on GTV, and we're also live on Facebook, which is Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. We've been joined in the studio by Loratu Musa Saka. Loratu is a member of the NPP communication team, and then Maurice will also join us on the screen with some bit of analysis, of which Loratu is also here to help us with that. Loratu, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you too?
Oh, Charlie,
and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes, Happy New Year. I mean, so far, what would your assessment be?
I mean, so far, so good. I mean, it's been peaceful so far, apart from the comments from candidates and their supporters. Those are normal. Every competition comes with some anxiety and anticipation. So far, at least with what is going on is one of our calendar events, if I may. And Article 12 of our Constitution stipulates what has to be done and who can contest. Anyone who is qualified, going through the process, and is on the ballot is an obvious representative, someone who can help us win the seat. I mean, looking at what is going on in Parliament, we need to really put up candidates that can win these seats for us, so we don't have the situation
what's going on in
we
Parliament?
find out. I mean, it's virtually a split Parliament or a hung Parliament, if I may. And we've seen what has gone in so far. We've seen events that have never happened in our Parliament. I mean, they argue, they are quite hard on each other, but for people to go into fisticuffs and all that, that has not really happened in our Parliament for the Republic. And this is our 8th Parliament. So we need to, I mean, for those who are thinking that a hung Parliament was the solution to some of our democracy, have to rethink, you know.
Okay.
So far, I mean, it's all good. About over 101 constituencies. Some are going unopposed, and that also says a lot about how you nurture your constituency and how you keep in touch with the people that vote for you.
All right. You talked about trying to prevent what happened in the 2020 election in terms of Parliament and having a hung Parliament and all that. But has the party learned its lessons in this particular primaries so that it doesn't actually repeat what happened, what you said?
If you look at the processes that I've gone through, we've gone through from opening of nominations to vetting and all that. The vetting, I mean, some were disqualified.
Yes.
Some are going unopposed.
Yes.
So that should tell you that the party has been careful, because there were some decisions that were taken during the process before the last election and didn't really augur well for the party. And we're still dealing with some of the fallouts of those decisions. And as a party, I mean, since 1992, we've always improved on our activities. And that should even tell you how we keep amending our constitution to speak to the times and the lessons we've learned. You saw how we went through the presidential primaries. You saw how we went through the orphan constituencies. And now this is the most critical aspect of it, because apart from we having our incumbents, apart from we having the experienced hands that will lead Parliament in the next, in the 9th Parliament, when we get there, we also need to be careful how we manage the situation, because the MPP is a democratic party. MPP is the party that in our local parlance is termed booklong. Everybody knows what they are about. People pull out the constitution, people pull out the guidelines and make sure that what is in print is what we all go by. And like you saw in the, is that Sarah?
Yes,
from Abdullah West. People are complaining because they know what has to be. But on that note, I would advise that she speaks to the EC and the police, because the police have the exclusive right to security. They allow people within certain perimeters. The EC is the one handling the polling process. So we've mandated them to do that. We've done our bit. We've given them the albums. They are in charge of the process. At the end of it all, by 2 p.m. and onwards, the EC is the one going to declare the winners of the competition. So our advice, she speaks to the relevant bodies mandated. Because if you're speaking to delegates, they all have sites. Everybody wants their candidate to look good.
Right.
If you're speaking to executives, definitely, they are also delegates. They all have sites. So
just a quick one before Doreen and then Maurice also comes. Talking about some people going for unopposed. Is it unopposed as in everybody agrees that they should go unopposed, or is it unopposed where people have reservations within the constituency, but it's just that they don't have the avenue to contest?
There's never a perfect situation. So definitely, but for them to go unopposed without anybody raising red flags, that should tell you that majority are in favor of what they are doing. If you take my friend in Doma East, Paul. Paul is always in his constituency. You go for a meeting with Paul and he has his clothes hung in his car and he's out there, always in touch with his people. And he will tell you that the people who make you, you don't leave them behind. You go to Ayawaso West Wogon. My sister, Honorable Lydia. I mean, we all know how she came into. We all underestimated her because she came in as a coup for such a hot constituency, but she's lived up to expectations.
For her case, when she came in, and because of the unfortunate incident that happened in that particular constituency, she was allowed to go unopposed.
Yes, she was allowed to go unopposed. But for her to be going unopposed again, that should tell you that she brought something to the table. Have you heard anybody agitating, apart from the gentleman who was disqualified by virtue of the fact that he didn't qualify? Who else is agitating? I mean, you take Honorable Afeo Markins. He's a household name.
I know.
So there are most of the people going
looks like
on
he's taking control of that
deja vu. They've been in touch. You see them always. Most of the time, some are virtually with their constituents, and that is how it should be. These are the people who make the party. These are the people, because anybody at the polls now is an executive at a certain level. At the polling station level, at the constituency level. So if you're really there, good. But definitely, when it comes to competition, like I said, the NPP, even when people know that you are capable, they are best candidates, they must give you some level of competition for it to look authentic. So that's fundamental.
We'll be looking at the candidates who are going unopposed in this particular election. From the various regions down to the various constituencies. But before we do that, I just have a quick question for you. How are you dealing with the fact that a lot of the bigwigs, the experienced hands, are exiting Parliament, the likes of Chime Sambonsu, who is not going to contest anymore? Don't forget that you lost some of them even in the 2020 elections. Is the party concerned?
Lost is quite an interesting way to put it.
I'm saying you
persons like you know how you say lost, and it's like the person is,
I get that.
So I'm just pulling your leg.
Sure.
Yes.
So how is the party dealing with that?
People putting up themselves to serve their people and the nation is a personal choice from the get-go. They need to, nominations are open. I decide that I want to serve my people. I'm capable of being the member of parliament. It's my personal decision. It may probably be part of my ambitions or my career plan. All these plans, all these ambitions have exit plans. These men and women who decided not to go again, I think I've served a minimum of 3 times. I don't think I've seen any first-term MP who said they are not going. And second-term MPs is rare. But most of them have done 3 terms, 4 terms. They've paid their dues. And it also gets to a point where you don't wait to be sent out before you know that you've come to there. These are men of repute. These are men and women who've paid their dues. If you take Honorable Oseche Mensah-Bonsu, he's lived up to the level of a leader. How far can he go? Again, he also needs to sit back and nurture people. You take Honorable Dambuchi, from being a general secretary to being a minister, and now a minister. When he went to Okare, we didn't hear anything. It was virtually like, we've been wanting you all this while he just came in, and they went for him. You know, he's also nurturing people. And most of these people that are also going off are at an average age of 60-something. You know, so these are men who've paid their dues in our political dispensation. I believe that they think that it's time for them to also nurture younger people. And when I say younger people, it's not necessarily by age, but people who are now coming onto the political scene and have things to offer.
But the worrying part, the worrying part is fine. I mean, yes, nurture people, get people in, but look at the number close to about 20. 18, now 19, because Obi Amwa is also announced that he's not going. It becomes a bit worrying. I mean, I heard from the communication minister who was also saying that something needs to be done about it. I remember in 2020, ahead of the 2020 election, NDC also had similar concern that something needs to be done about the experienced ones who are leaving, not necessarily for the interest of the political party, but for the interest of Parliament to become that strong and also work effectively.
But, George.
Yes, madam.
Let me ask you a simple scenario. Why do we have all students' associations? You get it?
I do.
So these people haven't said they are leaving the New Patriotic Party.
That's fair, yes.
You've had people who are past MPs, past ministers, who serve on committees. If you take Honorable Abankwayeboa, I believe he's coming here this afternoon. He's been part of the process. This is a former treasurer who went for chairmanship and did it. Honorable McMenu, former chairman, still very active in our party activities. So the worry would be if these men and women say, we are exiting politics, we are exiting the New Patriotic Party. That is where the worry would be. But this is a block of human resources.
So there's no worry when they're actually not going back to Parliament, rather.
Because you see, when an individual also takes a decision that for this phase of my life, I'm done. You don't need to also coerce them. Then you don't get the quality you are used to. So for me, the worry would be if they say we are exiting the scene totally. But these are resources that we can always fall back on. And don't also forget that there are plans far advanced to put together a party school to train members and leaders of the party. So all these people are human resources that we can fall on to do this. They also didn't start with the knowledge they started with. They started from somewhere. So for me, I think it's a balance of once they're available to be consulted, it's not too much of a worry. Unless some feel that they've been mistreated, but none of them has come out with that decision. It's voluntary decisions that they take.
Like, listen to Obi Amwa in between the line.
Okay, so
Obi.
I mean, between the line, you could sense some displeasure there.
Displeasure where?
Obi Amwa. If you read in between.
In between what?
In between his statements and
why he's one of our most. I mean, he serves on the subsidiary legislation committee, and I've had occasions where I've reached out to him for information, and he's been very forthcoming with it. And this is someone who served Equiapim South for a long time. You know, I believe if he decided to go again, he would have won. But he doesn't want to go. And you know, in politics, a second is a very long time. People can change their minds anytime.
Yes,
before we get to Morris, now you heard our correspondent in Ablikuma West.
Yes.
And from what she says, some of the delegates are raising issues about the album. They feel that the executives in the constituency have massaged the album. How does the party react to that? Has it come to your attention? How should it be handled in the constituency?
That is why I said in my earlier submission that this is a discussion, or this is information your reporter should be seeking from the EC. At this point, no executive. The only thing executives can do now, and if you've been following, one of the releases that came out from the party headquarters was monitoring officers. So there's a monitoring officer from the national level, there's a monitoring officer at the regional level. That's all they can do at this point. from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. when the leader is declared or beyond, is the sole responsibility of the EC to make sure that what have been agreed on in the modalities. So if she's getting this information from the EC, then it gives cause to worry. Okay. If she's getting information of people being restrained from going to vote or getting certain things, then it's the police. Now, if she's getting the information from police and the EC, then it's cause to worry. Now, if she's getting it from delegates who equally have preferences, then we need to be very careful how we take it up.
Okay.
Okay.
Maurice.
All right. So let's quickly get onto Zoom and speak to our correspondents who have joined us, our men on the ground monitoring this political event. Is the 2024 Npp primaries. I see Jay Gabra on the line. Good morning to you, Jay. Where are you reporting from, and exactly what are you able to tell us at this point?
Can you hear me?
Okay, so that's George Entry. Yes, George, I can hear you. Which constituency are you reporting from, and what's been happening so far, George? George, I can hear you. Just go ahead. Right, so we're trying to connect with our correspondents on the ground. I see George Entry, Jay Gabra. George, I can hear you. Just go ahead. Which constituency are you reporting from, and what exactly have you been observing so far?
Is it delayed?
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Jay.
Hello, Maureen.
Yes, Jay Gabra, I can hear you. Where are you reporting from, and what can you tell us?
We are currently at the Maranatha University College in Sotium. We are reporting concerning the parliamentary elections for 2020. That's the
So I'm standing by.
We are arrived
they're almost done.
Has been going on since 7 a.m.
Oh, okay.
When we check the EC official, it tells us about 555 candidates have voted so far. There are two polling centers over here. They divided them into A and B. For A, you can see over here we have Awoshi, Anya East, Abekuma, Agape Pent, Olebu, and Santa Maria T1, and a number of people who are in the queue waiting to vote as well. There are two candidates on the ballot for this constituency. That's number one is Elder Emmanuel Tobin. He's the CEO of the Ascot Pharmacy. What you are seeing currently at the scene from the polling center here at the Maranatha University College. And number one on the ballot sheet is Elder Emmanuel Tobin. He's the CEO of Ascot Pharmacy, and he's vying for the post with the incumbent. That's Honorable Dixon Adomako Kisi. That he's the incumbent MP. He's also number two on the ballot paper. I'm now at the polling station B, and over here you can see this place has also been divided into Santa Maria, T2, Antiaku, Utium, Lomnava, Neokaiman West, Neokaiman East, and then Kwashebu. These are the seats currently from the Maranatha University College. The EC official tells me they're expecting around 1,485 delegates, and so far around 555 people have voted so far. The security presence is tight. They are not allowing anyone into the inner perimeter. So that's why we are now outside just monitoring whatever is going on within the premises. Yeah, so what happens is the queue is very orderly. The IT officials let you know, they let them go 3 at a time or so. And then as the batches go in and vote, then they cast their vote. And then they are not allowed to bring their phones and whatnot because they've been advised to take pictures of their whoever they vote for and stuff like that. So these are the scenes currently at the Maranatha University College here in Soweto.
What signals are you picking up in terms of the contest between the incumbent Honorable Adomako Kisi and Mr. Tobin, who is trying to unseat him? What are the delegates saying and is it likely that that particular seat can be snatched from Honorable Adumago Kisi?
Okay. So speaking with the delegates, most of them, in fact, none of them is telling us who they are voting for. They are just letting us know that they expect some kind of change for the 2024 election. And we took a chance and we saw the incumbent MP was walking around the premises. We'll share that interview with you shortly. But he is quite confident of his chances, and he's walking around very confidently, knowing that he's going to win. And we are hoping, he's also hoping that the delegates here will repose that confidence in him for him to run come December for the main elections.
So, I mean, from the pictures you've shown so far, it does appear that everything, going on orderly. But are there any particular issues that are burning in this particular constituency? The constituency as a whole, what are the issues when it comes to development, the social challenges, the infrastructural challenges in this particular constituency?
Personally, on our way here, I will give the feedback that it will have to do with their road network. Some large portions of the constituency have not been asphalted, so we have to drive on a lot of dead roads. And at some point, you have to wonder if you're still in the Greater Accra region, because these kind of roads are not expected for the capital. And one key issue for me was the fact that the barnyard traffic lights were off for more than 2 years, but they are now currently working. So I know these are some of the things that people are looking out for. For the delegates, they are voting for their candidates and then they are moving on. And they are moving because they are not. It's just an orderly process. Everybody just placing their vote and then they make their way to their homes. So the scenes here are quite calm, quite placid. Everybody, and you see some vendors also selling their wares, trying to replenish the people who are losing their energy, because being in this queue is not an easy thing. So
Jay,
these
also,
are the things we can report at the moment at the Maranatha University College. Yeah, and so.
Jay, also, what are the delegates themselves discussing? What are the issues that have been of concern to the delegates who are going to be casting their ballots in this particular election relative to the newcomer and the incumbent MP?
If you could break down the question for me, do you mean that what the delegates expect from whoever they are voting for?
What have they been saying concerning these two candidates?
Oh, for now, I haven't heard anything from the delegates, because like I said earlier, they are not telling us who they are voting for. So it's hard to tell what they mean by they need this from their candidates. They need some honesty and stuff like that. They need some integrity. Like the 2024 elections are crucial, so you need the best candidate to put them forward and all. So as to which one they are referring to, that will be very, very hard for me to tell.
Right. Jay Gabra is our correspondent reporting from the Anya-Sotuom constituency in the Greater Accra region. I saw not too long ago our correspondents from the Central region join the feed. George Entry is also on the line reporting this particular 2024 Npp primaries. We will try and connect with our correspondents on the ground who are covering this particular election. But as I said earlier on, Doreen, we're going to be looking at some of the candidates who are going unopposed in this particular election. If we get the pictures and the data, we can quickly run our viewers through some of the candidates who are going unopposed. And I choose to go straight to the Savannah region and come to this gentleman, Honorable Samuel Abujinapo in the Damongo constituency. He's a lawyer by profession. He's a Minister for Lands, Natural Resources of the Republic of Ghana. He actually snatched the seat from my very good friend Adam Mutawakilu, who was the NDC candidates in that particular constituency, the Damongo constituency, in the 2020 elections. So this will be the second time Honorable Samuel Abujinapo will be trying to go back to Parliament. Is he able to maintain or retain this particular seat? Don't forget that Honorable Wakilu also has won the candidature on the ticket of the NDC to contest that particular seat back. He is an accountant by profession. He used to be on the Mines and Energy Committee of Parliament. He's been very much vocal on the energy issues of our country. Honorable Samuel Abujinapo snatched that particular seat from him in the year 2020. Let's look at how the voting pattern has been in the Damongo constituency. It's a swing constituency, when it comes to the presidential and the parliamentary. I think that the NDC has held that seat for 3 times, and then the NPP has done 2 times. But you can take us through the figures, how the Damongo constituency has looked over the years, Doreen.
So from 1996, we'll start from 1996. And in 1996, the NDC won with 47.5% of the votes. In 2000, the NPP won with 45.9% of the votes. And then the NDC had 43.9% of the votes. Now go to 2004. In 2004, the NPP still won, but I mean, the margin wasn't so huge. The NPP won with 48.4%. The NDC had 47.2%. And then in 2008, the NDC came back. They won with 49.1%. The NPP had 48.4%. Now to 2012. The NDC stretched the margin. They won with 56.8% of the vote. And then the NPP had 39.4%. Now to 2016, the NPP had 42.3%, the NDC had 55.2%. So the NDC candidates over there during that period maintained the lead. The NDC kept widening the lead, but in 2016 it reduced a bit, but it was still quite a wide margin between the NPP and the NDC. And then to 2020, where the NPP came back strongly and won with the convincing 54.08%, with the NDC candidates having 44.92%. So it's quite a keen competition in the region.
We'll come back and do those analysis. But we have Kingsley Nanabwedu from the Central Region on the line. You want to talk to him right now. So we'll continue with the discussion.
Yes, Kingsley, can you hear me? Kingsley, can you hear me? Kingsley Nanabwedu, can you hear me? Kingsley. Hello, Kingsley.
Yeah, hello. I can hear you.
Yes, Kingsley, now tell us, where are you reporting from in the Central Region, and what are you...
I can hear you. I can hear you pretty well. Yes.
I think that the feed is quite delayed.
Constituencies are here. And of course, out of the 23 constituencies that we happens to belong to the New Patriotic Party. So naturally, the election was supposed to be held in these 10 constituencies. And these constituencies I am talking about include Himan Lower Dincha, where I am currently talking about Infantiman, AAK, Aseng Central, and others. I will give you the rest. But I must indicate that where I am, that's the for Himan Lower Dintra, Aseng Central, and Ewutusenya East happens to be the areas that, of course, was tagged to be the flashpoint. Himan Lower Dintra, people contesting Honorable Ajinsem, Lawrence Ajinsem. He is the CEO of Exim Bank, and of course, Honorable Reku Bobe is the Deputy Minister of Employment and Labor Relations. Of course, he is the incumbent member of Parliament representing the good people of Himan in the Law House. Of course, this is the 3rd attempt he's making to represent the people. Lawrence Ajinsem, who happens to be of Exim Bank, this is the 2nd attempt that it's making at representing the people. So this makes it quite interesting and in contest here. When to Asen Central, Honorable Kennedy Japan is no more going, and people are looking forward to whoever will succeed him and represent the people of Asen Central. When you go to Awutu Senya East, we know what the situation there is. The contest there is also supposed to be that king. So these three constituencies are the areas that we are looking at as flashpoint. Aside that, Infantaman is also doing Aguna West, for instance. They were supposed to have the election, but last minute we were told that there is an injunction on the process. So Aguna West is also not having it as we speak. So currently, Dencha, Upper Dencha is there too. It is unopposed. That is what it is. And when you go to Ewutu, that is a Winneba area, Honorable Afanya Makin is also going unopposed, and a few others. So as for 4 of them, there is no election there. And where we are constituencies that the exercise is taking place. Where I am, the people that delegates that are expected to cast their vote here, they are about 452. That is what the EC has given us, and currently it's just some few minutes past 11. And according to the EC, people that have cast vote is 435. What it means is that we are almost done. And see, the EC officials, of course, they are just relaxing. The exercise started quite on time, exactly 7 o'clock as it was given to them. So you see them just having a few days. In fact, the assumption and the perception that here was going to be one of the critical areas. When we came, we didn't see anything like that. If you can even see the environment, there are not many people around. Most of them had cast their vote and have even left the premises, just waiting and having fun outside the premises. So inside here, nothing of a sort is here. If you see behind me, you see security officers well positioned, and they came in their numbers. And of course, probably as a result of the perception or the assumption that this particular area is supposed to be one of the critical areas. So that is why the police here is quite intact. Let me talk to one of the electoral officers here. Of course, he is in charge of this time. So, Madam, good afternoon or morning.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, please, can you tell me your name?
I'm Ife Epson.
Yeah, the process has been calm. What can you tell us about what has transpired here?
Oh, much as we expected it to be peaceful, and indeed, we've experienced that it's so peaceful. Everything has gone on smoothly. Yes.
It's just some few minutes after 11, and you seem to have almost finished. Your people are just relaxing. Well, what next? Is it that you will wait till 2 o'clock,
yes,
or you
wait till 2 o'clock before we count the ballots?
Oh, okay. Yes. So your people will be here until 2.
Yes.
But how many people are left so far to come and cast their vote?
So we have about 8 people left.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So exactly the situation here, and like they are indicating, we are just left with 8 exercise here. So for Central Region, I know wherever other places that the elections are taking place, it's been that successful and that peaceful. We've not had any serious issue. We are yet to connect to Ewutu and of course Asen Central. There too, I know the exercise is going on successfully and peacefully until we get any other feedback. Infantima, for instance, is also one of the areas that we are looking at. The incumbent Opiria, that is the MP, incumbent MP there, is also being contested by 2 other people, and it also seems to be that keen. So virtually the 10 constituencies that we're supposed to vote for Central Region, we are only doing 6 so far as these primaries are concerned. Based on the information I've given, one injunction have been placed on it, that's Agona West, and the 3 areas are Central and a few others that Ewutu for that is a Futu, they are going unopposed. So that is the situation here.
Well, Kingsley, we know that the electoral officer said they have 8 more people to come in to vote. From where you said, did you expect them to come in? And for those contesting that, Brightway, Kubrobe, and the other aspirants, have they come around and what have they been telling you?
Well, we've been speaking with some say that is going to go their way, and it is, in fact, it is very keen. When I was coming out in the vehicle that I was in, the conversations around suggest that it's going to be keen, and of course that is the reason why even the party itself tagged this area as one of the flashpoint, one of the critical areas. They all seem to be quite okay. I wanted to talk to Honorable Lawrence Ajin Sim. And of course, he declined talking to us. He said he didn't want to talk to you until it is done. But Bobby was that optimistic, but of course also waiting to see what after the election. So they have all been calm. They've all comported themselves, waiting to see. Yeah. Some of the delegates are also here. Let me try and see if I can speak to a few of them to gauge the mood here. They've comported themselves pretty well. So I've gotten one here. Good afternoon or morning.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Pastor Efrasin. All right. All right, Dennis. So have you cast your vote?
Yeah, I've done that.
Oh, okay. How do you see the process so far?
I think for the security, let me take this advantage and then thank the regional police commander. Because in fact, if you look at the security around, it tells me this election was really prepared. So security-wise, we give thanks to the police and the other security agencies who are over here also monitoring things to be very successful.
Are you aware that this place was tagged as one of the critical or flashpoints?
Yeah, I'm aware because the reason why here was, said to be a critical or a tension point is the incumbent MP who is in the going with Mr. Lawrence Agin is from the mine here. And so people were expecting the venue to be changed from here. People were expecting it to be at Owasi or Fami because it's the middle of the constituency, but the leadership of the party took their initiative earlier and they said it is here that they done. So we are okay with the venue. I think the security has done their part. So we are only waiting for that resounding victory, which is coming over for Mr. Lawrence Agin because it are spoken. A lot of the grassroots are calling his name. It tells you that all the people are willing to, vote for the man. So I think, as I said earlier, we are all waiting for that resounding victory for Mr. Lawrence Agin.
All right. Thank you very much. To have one of the senior members of the party here, and they're also coming to cast their vote. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Are you now coming to cast your vote?
No. I'm former constituency chairman. I brought this constituency to.
All right. Yeah. So that is Chairman Oscar, and he was formerly in charge of the constituency here, so far as NPP is concerned. How has it been?
Oh, I've just arrived, but from my information, things are going on well. Things are going very calm. The atmosphere is calm. There has not been any different type of intimidation or any type of route or so. Understand that everything is going on right.
Yeah. All right. So that is so that is it. Calm.
That's correspondent in the Central Region, and he was just reporting from the Hemang Lower Dentra constituency. We'll go back to Morris to give us more from the board.
Right, so Doreen, there are some interesting constituencies we want to look out for, especially in the Central Region. We'll be coming back to do those analysis. Some very key members of the MPP who are going unopposed in that particular region. But before we do those analysis, let's speak to Gifty Ajay, who is covering one of the key constituencies in this particular election, the English Amanfro constituency, which is currently headed by the incumbent Sylvester Tete. He contested Ningo Pram somewhere in 2016. He lost that particular bid, came back to Amanfro and won that particular seat in 2020. He's seeking to retain that particular seat, but there is a contest in English, Amanfro. Gifty, what else are you able to tell us from that particular constituency? What are the variables? What are the key issues?
Thank you so much, Maurice. Actually, Mr. Tete contested the Npp constituency for 2012 and 2026 before finally he came to Botiano English Amanfro in 2020, where he won and currently the incumbent MP for this area. And so we are coming to you from Tuba Astroturf, and this is where the constituency primary is taking place. For this election, we have the incumbent, Mr. Sylvester Tete, and Mr. Eric Kojo-Vanes Kranche, and lawyer Vida Echampon, all hoping to win the seat to represent the people in Parliament in this constituency. And as of 10:40, over 500 delegates have cast their ballot. And as you can see, we can have the camera pan round. Voting is in earnest. Everything is going on smoothly. We have security people in Vantage Place ensuring that the whole process is being done peacefully and successfully. The delegates are patiently waiting in line, hoping to cast their ballot. And so far, I'll say that everything has been peaceful and okay. Earlier on, we had the opportunity of speaking to the incumbent, and he was very hopeful that he would definitely win this election based on the kind of developmental projects he has done for the community. And so the people are going to reward him for the second time and give him the nod to lead them. So as you can see, as the camera is panning, everything is in order. We have the electoral officials in place. We are conducting the whole process well, and it seems to be that the whole atmosphere is very okay, peaceful, and the process is going on orderly. I'll quickly go to the presiding officer, Madam Priscilla Ogbo Mesa, and we speak to her for more information. Hello, Ma. Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining GBC. Okay, kindly share with us experience so far. I mean,
get our connections from the English Amanfro constituency, where the incumbent Sylvester Mensah is, getting some hot contest in that particular constituency. This will be his second attempt to go to Parliament on the ticket of the MPP. My colleague Gifty Ajay is trying to speak to the returning officer at this particular polling center, so we are able to get the very details from this particular constituency. But Laura, too, do you have any interest in this constituency? Is there anything you are monitoring in the English Amanfro constituency?
Oh, I have interest in all the constituencies,
right?
But I mean, we all know it's come up because of the incumbent and throughout our presidential primary. So definitely there will be a lot of attention on it. They've also had their own internal party issues, but it's an internal contest. People have their preferences.
The delegates say if Sylvester wins, the MPP will lose that particular seat because the electorates in the broader constituency do not want to vote for him.
So when delegates talk like this, I think is a bit unfortunate, because you are the people supposed to make the party attractive in the constituency. You are the people going to market the candidates. So if majority of you vote for a candidate, then it's your responsibility to make sure that we annex that seat. So if the people who are supposed to make sure that we win the seat talk like this, I think is unfortunate. It shouldn't be coming from.
But the delegates are on the ground. I mean, they speak to the taxi drivers.
How will he win? Majority of delegates have to vote for him.
So
there's no conversation if he loses.
Okay.
But if he wins, majority of you, and these are polling station executives and constituency executives.
Right.
And when it comes to internal contests, we also need to be measured with the things we say.
Right.
Because whatever you say will be repackaged by opponents.
Right.
Let's
go back to Gifty. We're getting a connection right back. Gifty, if you can hear me, you can take it away.
Okay, thank you. Just joined us watching GBC News, and we're currently at Tuba Astroturf, English Amanfu constituency. Where the whole MP
trying to work the lines. It does appear the weather giving us some challenge.
From you. Okay, so time did you get here?
I'm waiting for the exciting moment of victory.
Okay.
Not nervous at all.
Okay.
I got here around 10 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah. Start taking care of people in my house.
You are confident in the statistics. What makes it that confident?
It's number one reason. It's part of my 3-year. So that's what I've done here. Over 416 people have been supported from jobs over 5 years.
This is our coverage of the 2024 Npp primaries. So let's try and play back to you an earlier conversation